Well, back into another episode of Game Runs Deep and Talk of Champions. That's Ben Garrett. I'm Sudu Upadea. I can't hear this music on my end, Ben. I hope it's not too loud. Can you hear this? You can hear
it. Sounds good to me.
Okay. I got no music on my end, but
it sounds fire to me. How about this? Watch this. I'll fade it out for you because I'm talented like that. We'll do a fade track out. Wait for it.
I wish I could hear the greatness that you just created there, man. I just unfortunately unable to do so. But what's up, dude? It's been a few days since I've seen you. Not much has happened really. Except Ole Miss baseball won 2 games. Becerra might be the greatest hitter of all time. I mean, how are you feeling? How's life? Tell me about it.
Man, I am feeling good this Friday morning. God is good. It's been one doozy.
Right. One doozy. Tell me about this doozy.
Doozy of a morning in the Garrett household, okay?
Okay.
First, my wife, she does hands and feet of Jesus stuff. She's an elementary school teacher. She's a 3rd grade math teacher. She's amazing.
Shout out, Emily.
Yep, she's awesome. They had a field trip today, and last night she because teachers have to do everything for themselves, had to put all of the shirts for the kids in the washing machine. My job was before I fell asleep to put them in the dryer. So you can imagine my horror when she comes rushing in. She got her hair all rolled up in them little rolls, you know. She goes, I forgot to put the t-shirts in the dryer. I had to do that. I had
well done.
Yeah, took it up to her. I had to get her tag because she's been it had driving around with expired tags since Christmas.
Oh Lord.
I know. Just come on now. My sweet Gracie, she was supposed to sing a solo at FCA, but they couldn't get the accompaniment right. So she was very upset about it. But then I told her this is about God's glory and not about her own individual glory. She did amazing anyway. So that was a thing, right? It's been one doozy of a morning. I do see why people get up early.
Yeah.
I do see why they do it. You and I have never been morning people.
No. But
never.
Can I say something? Because this is a close-knit community, right? Especially on Fridays. I feel like if you listen to Game Runs Deep on Fridays, you're a real fan. Okay. Because it's a Friday. So since we're all family, I'm gonna be honest with y'all here. I woke up earlier this morning. I did a ice bath for my face. To make sure, listen, the allegations are running rampant. Okay, the Sudu blazes before every show allegations are running rampant. I said I'm going to do something about it. Now you tell me, did it help at all? Because I don't think it did.
You look the same.
I know. I had a buddy tell me, he's like, you should do the ice bath thing, like Ashton Hall, who's this influencer who does these ridiculous videos. Like it's actually insane. And he was like, just try the face ice thing. And I was like, oh, okay. Did not help. I just subjected myself to, more pain for no reason. Sudu, if you're having withdrawals, I hear a hot shower. The opposite, actually. I think I need a cold shower. It apparently made it worse. I feel like my skin looks a little brighter. I don't know. I just feel like maybe just because I washed it first thing in the morning. I don't know. But regardless, guys.
I think you look great. I will say the hat is dope.
Oh, this hat is one of my favorites, man. Love this hat.
Love
this hat.
I mean, my
shout out No Rivals, man. They make some good products over there. If they want to sponsor us, we will take that.
Well, you handle the chat, the comments, and make sure.
Thank you, Jack.
Make sure they get thrown up on the screen for us while I get all these things set up, including putting my link on the Ole Miss Spirit, because today is going to be a fun show on Game Runs Deep.
Damn right it is.
You sprung this on me last night. I just said, hey, we podding.
In typical Sudu Ben fashion, though, this is what we do. Just like that one day, you're like, no, I listened to Talk of Champions. It was like, oh, we have Trey Wallace on tomorrow. And I was like, hey, Ben, you're like, yeah, we got Trey Wallace. I was like, all right.
That was the good thing. At least you went, hey, do we have a guest tomorrow? Because I didn't have to spring that on you. You know what I mean?
But I know we had discussed maybe getting a guest for today, but obviously didn't work out. But I wanted to double check.
My man Jake Schoonover, Ole Miss special teams coordinator. I've been waiting for my man to get back to him. He said, yeah, man, I'm coming on. And it's days now, they're busy. Actually, they're not. This is probably their chillest time. Well, all of the football teams showed up for Coach Yo and them last night. Great.
Speaking of which, I mean, Stephen A. Smith in Oxford, Mississippi. I thought I'd never see it. There's a video that I'm waiting to upload of him here, or in Oxford, rather. I say here like I'm there.
Hey, look, Coach Yo is one of the best ambassadors, if not the best ambassador for Ole Miss athletics writ large right now. It was a great thing that she did, not just bringing Stephen A. into town, but just like how she publicly advocates for the university and its growth across the board. So it was cool to see a fulfillment of that more than anything. It was really cool to see Ole Miss fans show up for Coach Yo and them. And it was less about Stephen A. Smith and Pete Golding and Trinidad Chambliss and all of them in attendance than the thousands that showed up to try to will that team going through an unprecedented stretch because of Winter Storm Fern, forcing a rescheduling for them or a schedule adjustment that resulted in them in playing 2 games in 3 days, both against top 20 teams, and LSU was the number 7 team in the country. So going 0 for 17 in the fourth quarter, that'll do it.
It was not great, but
maybe you say that they're exhausted from the stretch. It could be any number of things, but the bottom line is they needed to win that game for an NCAA tournament host. Probably not going to host now. But what a cool showing by Ole Miss and Rebel Nation in support of Coach Yo, who appealed to them, and that's what Ole Miss fans do. They answer the bell. So I thought that needed to be spoken up for right at the top. But yes, you sprung this on me last night. What we're actually going to be talking about this whole time. Battle of the Seasons. Reminds me of the Real World Road Rules Challenge. Keep putting comments up on the screen for me, okay? The Real World Road Rules Challenge, Battle of the Seasons kind of theme, and you've got the bracket all filled out for yourself. Like you made a bracket. Have you uploaded it for the people to see?
So the people will see it. Yes, the bracket. So, and I will say this: I seeded this. So if you have any qualms with it, you come at me. Don't come at Ben. Okay, I'm a man. I'm 40. Well, I'm not, but you know what I mean. But I did, since I went through all this trouble of uploading the Stephen A. Smith thing, it just didn't come in time. The timing sucked. Here is Stephen A. Smith's reaction, if you haven't seen it, to being in Oxford and at the pavilion.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Stephen A. I'm here in the house, Ole Miss, LSU. I'm in Oxford, Mississippi, and I'm having a damn good time. This girl, Cody McMahon, is special. Very, 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 very special. And she's making it a special night for me. I'm enjoying myself.
Go Rebels! His daughter is way cooler than
his daughter's very cool, by the way. And he has a nephew as well. Like he does on his own personal podcast. He'll have them on occasionally, and I think they're both hilarious. But here's my thing with Stephen A. I don't always agree with Stephen A.'s opinions. I think what his show has created for like sports media in general isn't probably the best. But to me, I've always looked at Stephen A. Smith as a like manager, like a wrestling manager. Like no one cuts a promo quite like Stephen A. Smith. So when he's on your side hyping you up, there's nothing cooler in my opinion, because I think of it in terms of wrestling. Like he's not Paul Heyman, but he's in that class in my opinion of like that man should have been in the WWE and he should have been a manager in the WWE. He would have been one of the greatest if he were to do it.
Yes, everything is wrestling now. As someone who went to Raw on Monday and watched the production of it,
almost fell asleep. Yeah.
That's because I'm old. But watching that and thinking you could, like, if you just like changed out the title cards, a little bit of the music, rolled some American flags somewhere. I mean, you couldn't differentiate between what I saw on Monday Night Raw on Monday and a political rally. I mean, it's everything is wrestling. So 100%. Of course, Stephen A. Smith, who's saying he's considering a run for president in 2028. I mean,
he's got to come to Mississippi. He's got a campaign in Mississippi. So
he does, and I will give it to him. He was a man who meant what he said, what he meant, and meant what he said. And he showed up and he brought his daughter. And it's just really funny. Like the most genuine of all that video is like, okay, he's doing the Stephen A. Smith. It's very special. Very, 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 very special. It's very special. Did you know it was very special? But then you go to his daughter, and she actually got the assignment.
She got the fence. I think she got it. She didn't do the weird rooster thing, you know. No. I think she hit the.
That's not it. That's not it. It's that.
Yeah, you got to tuck the thumb. You got to tuck the thumb.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Ole Miss is de-emphasized. Certainly got rid of Tony the Shark.
Yeah.
We reported that on the Ole Miss Spirit a long time ago. OMSpirit.com, affiliate13. Sign up today for $1. This QR code right here. Scan it. Try us for $1 for 5 days. Then charges you for an annual sub.
Is that QR code the Spirit again, though? Or is it still?
Yeah, I switched it to the Spirit. We've been raising money for the Albany High School. That production is coming up. I can't wait to do a review for you guys, like shoot some video, because y'all raised $1,500 for my friends over at New Albany High School, and they were unbelievably grateful. And I shot some reaction stuff. I look forward to sharing that. Yeah, like that is the cool thing about the job. That is the cool thing, is the communal aspect of it, and people helping people. It's really, really special. And part of that community is us fellow beat writers. I have known Wes Rucker. I'm not a friend with him, but I've known Wes Rucker since I got into this business in 2008. Now, again, I wasn't close with him like that, but he tragically passed away in a car accident yesterday. He leaves behind his wife and a son named Hank and a soon-to-arrive daughter. And it's a tragic thing. And you've seen the outpouring of support on social media from all in the sports media community, as well as the Tennessee community. And I just wanted to say, as someone who shook the man's hand, talked to him before, had great respect for what he did, also argued with him about stuff before, be it Ole Miss Tennessee recruiting battles in the 2010s or whatever it may be, or when Ole Miss returned to Tennessee with Lane Kiffin. Remember that one? Wes Rucker had a great way with words. He was a true newspaper man in a environment that's changed drastically. It seems to be changing more and more every single day. The Wes Ruckers of the world, already a tragedy as it is. We lost a great voice for our profession and what we do. And I just wanted to touch on that before we moved on to what was going to be a fun Friday show for all of us, because Sudu really did put together a great bracket. That's what I was trying to get to. He sprung it on to me last night that we were going to be picking Battle of the Seasons, the best Ole Miss football team ever. But just tragic news in regards to the West. I mean, he's my age, man.
I know, man. It's tough. I obviously I know Wes through social media, and I have a ton of Tennessee friends. Like, I'm in a group chat with exclusively Tennessee people. Could not believe it. I thought it was one of those like weird fake accounts just doing stuff, people do on Twitter. And no, I mean, obviously it was confirmed, and it's just bad, man. Like you said, I mean, the guy had his own fair share, I think he had like issues that he had to get over. Maybe was it a stroke? Like, I know he had health issues that he dealt with, fought through that. His son had been fighting through health issues. One of the best to do it at the beat reporter level, obviously. I don't think anybody will argue with you on that. Just really tragic, man. Leaves behind a pretty awesome legacy, but just tough news, obviously. And thoughts and prayers out to his family.
God rest his soul. God be with his family. It's we're getting picked off one by one, man.
Yeah, dude, that's tough. And it's God, what you're, and not to drag on this, but just kind of what you're talking about there. It's so weird seeing like these, to me, like an institution of college sports, like Wes Rucker. Like, his name has been in my world for so many years, just as a consumer of the product, not even as somebody that knew him personally. Like, we've been in the same press box together or whatever, right? But like, it's just insane. Like, that is a name that has always shown up on my Twitter or on a message board, and it's like he's gone. It's insane.
And if you'd like to contribute, again, he leaves behind his wife, son Hank, and a soon-to-come daughter. Just search Wes Rucker GoFundMe, and I know Tennessee Nation's already rallied to the man's side and to his family side, and praise God for that. But that's what's special about this community, man. I mean, just like what we think is small, like some only were able to give $5, $1 to the New Albany High School musical theater production took everlasting with that QR code that was above my head. This is for the Ole Miss Spirit. Sign up for $1. But $1,500. I mean, you thought they'd won the lottery. And more than that, you're like by helping each other out and rallying to each other's cause when tragedy strikes as well. So college football community, we all mourn Wes, and just an absolutely devastating thing to hear.
Brutal stuff, obviously. Well, we're going to transition, I guess, the only way we can there. But actually, so before we get to
this, Rucker would have loved a debate like this. I like to think, like, again, he understood the assignment when it came to Tennessee and this kind of stuff like this. He would have been a money man for, like, if you're picking Tennessee's best seasons, because who actually delivered the title? T. Martin, right? I'm just saying. Why can't T. Martin get an OC job, by the way? Again, we're going too far down
There's a lot. We could get into some T. Martin stuff because T. Martin, I know, feels slighted by Tennessee in many regards. But we'll say that for another show. Yes. But before we actually get to this Ole Miss all-time team bracket, our friend John Cox, the legal analyst of Talk of Champions, actually tweeted this at me last night. So obviously during the Trinidad Chambliss case, the NCAA left early, and Judge Whitwell was not too pleased by that. And yesterday there was an actual response, and here it is. Judge Whitwell actually,
there it is,
filed, I guess this is a show cause order against them. This cause is before the court on its own. Or hold on, I'm going to pull up a bigger version because this is a little too small for me. I'm getting old. This cause is before the court on its own or tennis motion. Is that I'm not familiar with too many legal terms. Motion to require the attorneys for the National Collegiate Athletic Association, J. Douglas Minor, Taylor J. Askew, and Daniel J. Zetlin, in the above styled cause to personally appear before this court and show cause and explain why all of them left the courtroom in Calhoun City County Courthouse in Pittsburgh, Mississippi on Thursday, February 12, 2026.
Home of the now world famous El Jefe.
El Jefe. Before the conclusion of the hearing on petitioner Trinidad Chambliss' first amended petition for preliminary and permanent injunctive relief and declaratory judgment, MEC number 4, and motion for preliminary injunction, MEC number 5, and the final open court ruling by the court, MEC number 22. The attorney's departure was made without obtaining this court's prior permission and approval. This matter will be addressed at a later proceeding, at which time the court will decide whether some form of sanctions against the aforementioned attorneys, if any, are appropriate under the circumstances so ordered and adjudged. This the 18th day of February 2026. Robert Q. Whitwell, Chancellor. Yeah. Take that, NCAA.
I wish you'd have been able to be the one that read Judge Whitwell's ruling instead of Judge Whitwell. Man, he probably would have taken at least half an hour.
I would have zoomed through that thing. Brad is a family man, Blair. How dare you?
He is.
Shame on you for putting that up there, Ben.
It's all performative. The NCAA will, of course, show up and say it was.
Will it show up?
Home.
Will the NCAA show up? Okay.
I mean, but at worst, you're going to. What's Judge Whitwell going to do? He's going to fine them. So
yeah,
but if you're the NCAA,
to go there for an ass chewing from Robert Whitwell, I would like for that to be streamed. I would like to watch Robert Whitwell chew their asses out. Like that would.
Well, I mean, you did. You watched it for an hour and 15 minutes. Except he read it like we were sitting there listening to, Moses reciting the 10 Commandments for all of us to hear. You know what I mean?
Someone made a comment that day. It was like, "Good God, this is going to be incredible for the nights that I can't sleep." And I. Literally the other night I thought about it. I was like, should I just play the StreamYard clip of Robert Whitwell reading the Trinidad Chambliss case to fall asleep?
And to his credit, he had to do that because it covered all of the bases necessary on appeal. But even if the NCAA does appeal, it goes to the Mississippi Supreme Court and they're going to lose there too. So there's nothing more to be done. The preliminary injunction essentially renders it all moot. Now the NCAA has come out this week and if they win legal cases, they could retroactively go back and punish schools. Have you seen that?
I did see that. Yeah, they're trying to do that with Memphis, I believe, right?
Yes, and of course they're going to do that. Like they're nothing if not petty. Trust if they can, they're going to try to come back and get Ole Miss at some point for something as well. In all of this, well, they'll just punish Ole Miss for the tampering piece. Well, then Ole Miss will again see them in court. That's what this all is now. It's all performative. It's all a way to say, see, Congress needs to act. If you're the NCAA, we'll see that you gotta act, Congress. You got to do something. Absolve themselves of any and all blame and credit. Right?
Yeah.
If you're the schools, you have absolutely no motivation whatsoever to comply with the NCAA. The days of exemplary cooperation are long ago dead. Now it's good luck proving in court because the NCAA's arbitrary rules that they don't enforce or they enforce in a selective way, they don't hold up in a court of law, regardless of the home cooking. So now it's just all WWE. It's all a performative thing. And Ole Miss has got his quarterback for 2026. Trinidad Chambliss is his quarterback, and they're now – I mean, David Pollock's over there talking about how He had Ole Miss middle of the pack. Trinidad coming back. Oh, yeah, they're a favorite. I mean, you got 2 potential Heisman candidates in your starting lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Great. Yes, Blair. Great redemption there. Brad's top shelf gentleman. His swag is historical levels at all times. I mean, look at the hair. The hair says it all.
It doesn't move.
It's incredible. It truly is. I want to know what kind of product he's using.
I didn't really I don't know what causes it to spike.
Oh, it's some kind of gel or pomade. Obviously, but he's got like a firm hold. I use like a medium hold, kind of mold my hair. I think Brad's doing like full on, just combing it up, and it's just.
You think he's a Dapper Dan man?
Potentially, could be.
That's a deep cut reference.
What's his?
Brother, where art thou? You can't or do not pursue the treasure. I'm ready to pick seasons now.
Are you? I was like, oh, that Dapper Dan? Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's do it, guys. So once again, this was my creation last night at approximately 11:50 p.m. Eastern time. Texting Ben, I was like, what should we do tomorrow? Game runs deep. We obviously talk about all things college athletics, but I was like, let's do something Ole Miss centric for our loyal fan base. Okay. And I think there's nothing better after a historic season like 2025 to pit this most recent team, which is the greatest season in Ole Miss history, pit it up against some other really great teams that maybe underachieved, that had talent, or for whatever reason didn't get to where they were supposed to get to. So this is the bracket I came up with. Once again, please do not hold this against Ben. This is my doing. Let me get rid of this comment. No offense to you, bud. I just want to show this whole bracket real quick.
And B&A Bank, tuck it out. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. So
everyone's quoting now, "Oh, brother, where art thou?" And giving me validation is all I'm saying. CJ said Sudu's making making random lists at midnight last night. Wonder what else he was partaking in. This morning he said he gave himself an ice bath.
Not an ice bath, and I soaked my face in an ice. I guess you're right. Ice bath makes it sound like I bathed in ice. Like that's not.
Is that great for exfoliation for you? Is that?
I don't know if it's as much for exfoliation as it is for just puffiness. Which, by the way, Tony, I believe, said that it actually helped. So maybe as the podcast has gone on, the ice has been working its magic. All right. So back to the bracket. So. Obviously, 2025 Ole Miss 13-2, best record, best performance in school history. They're going to get the first round bye. They're the 1 seed. Now, I went 2023 Ole Miss as the 2 seed. When we think about the greatest Ole Miss seasons, people don't always talk about 2023. 2023 was an incredible season for Ole Miss. 11 wins. It was the first 11-win season, right, in school history, was 2023.
It was. And that concluded with the Peach Bowl win. Caden Priest scoring MVP of the Peach Bowl.
That's right. And that team had so much potential. I mean, the only 2 blemishes, one was that Alabama loss on the road, and the other one was that shellacking at the hands of the Georgia team that probably should have won a national title that year. But, outside of a couple losses, I mean, that team probably makes the playoff as well because it's a 2-loss SEC team. And once it's in the playoff, the level of football that team was playing, I mean, they beat Penn State in the Peach Bowl. Like, you don't know who else they could have beaten that year in the playoff. So for that reason, I gave them the 2nd seed. The 2024 team gets the 3rd seed strictly based off of talent. That team woefully underachieved. To me, it's one of the biggest blemishes on Lane Kiffin's record is how poorly that season went. So I think you have to recognize the talent that was on that team by giving them the 3 seed there. And Ben, if you're disagreeing with any of these, please let me know. Because once again, this is
I'm letting you set the table.
Okay. So that's why they're the 3 seed. 4 seed, 2015 Ole Miss. Me personally, when I talk about or I think of teams that I am attached to that bring me the fondest memories that make me smile, 2015 Chad Kelly, that team was outside of the 2003 Ole Miss or Eli team, the 2015 Chad Kelly team is the one that's the one my brain automatically goes to. After Eli, when I think of Ole Miss quarterbacks, it goes to Chad Kelly. That one season with Chad Kelly was just so memorable. And once again, Ole Miss woefully underachieved that season, lost games they weren't supposed to, should have gone to Atlanta and competed for the SEC championship game if it wasn't for, God rest his soul, Alex Collins's lateral and other blunders in that game. But I think Chad Kelly played at such a high level that year with Laquan and Quincy and all the guys they had. It was just a stacked team. Defense, offense, that team could have been special. So they get the 4 seed. Someone said the 4 seed dark horse, 100%. Jack, yep, 2015 at number 4, a dark horse, 100%. 5 seed, 2003 Ole Miss. That one needs no explanation. Eli Manning's, what is it? Magnum opus? Is that what that would be called?
Sure.
Am I using that correctly?
Yeah.
It's his magnum opus. Once again, that team I wish would have helped Eli a little bit more, but obviously did not happen. We don't have to rehash all that right away. And then the 6th seed, 2021 Ole Miss, 10-3. People forget that team, but that was a hell of a team. And that was still Matty Corral, right? That season, that was the year Ole Miss went to Knoxville, and I'm assuming it's that year.
They got whooped at Alabama. They went to Tennessee.
That was the get your popcorn ready game, yeah?
Yes. That's why I'm already ready to ding that season, man. I mean, golly.
And then Matt gets hurt in the Sugar Bowl. But that is another season you look at and you go, 2-loss SEC team, probably getting in the college football playoff. Wins over 7, or I'm not going to count that, but wins over Arkansas, who's ranked, number 11 Texas A&M, who was ranked.
And also lost in a just terribly dispiriting Sugar Bowl to Baylor.
And then, dude, that loss to Auburn. I was in L.A. watching that game in Manhattan Beach on Halloween, or the night before Halloween, and
humble brag.
It was I was bragging about how good Ole Miss was, and all these like Californians that don't watch college football were like, "Oh, that team," and I was like, "Damn, okay, we just lost." Now Auburn was ranked too, but still. Okay, so that's the 2021 team. So that explains all the teams, why they are seeded the way they were seeded. I do agree that 2020 team was very, very fun to watch, specifically because of Matt Corral and his heroics. I mean, they ran Corral into the ground that year because he was that offense. But good God, it was fun. Okay, Ben, so let's get this thing started. All right, let's start with that 2 versus 7, 2023 Ole Miss, 2008 Ole Miss. Now, 2008 Ole Miss, Ben, I think we all agree, was another one of those Ole Miss teams that they lost so many games by such a close margin and had so much NFL talent. That was Ed Orgeron's work in recruiting being taken over by a more competent coach in Houston Nutt. Mediocre, but competent. And woefully underachieving, which at the time Ole Miss fans did not realize. They were just happy to be in a bowl game after suffering all those years with Orgeron in the final year of Cutcliffe. But now looking back on it, we know that with the amount of talent that was on that team probably should have competed for an SEC championship at the very least. So would you take that team? Okay.
Here's the question, Chatty Cathy. See, everyone I can not interrupt, I interrupted him. But go put it back on there for a quick second. Put it back on the screen.
I just want to see your beautiful face while you explain yourself here.
Are we talking about these teams in terms of if it's at their very best, right? When they're playing their best football, with that team beat that team? Yes. Because if you're just basing it off of accomplishment and the record-setting nature of them, then you're going to lean more toward the 2020s teams.
No. This is at their best, knowing the talent that they had, knowing how close some of these results were.
All right. Do you remember much about 2023 Ole Miss?
I do.
All right.
I mean,
that was the year.
Not as much as 08. Like 08, I can name a bunch of players, but 2008, I remember that team. That was Jonathan Mingo, and Zach Evans was on that team. Like I remember, certain players.
Sure. Quinshawn Judkins, great team. All right. It was also the year they learned that they weren't quite there. They went to Georgia, and I remember that week because you and I did podcasts together. I came to Athens, and you said, "Ben, this is going to be bad."
Yeah.
And it changed everything that Lane Kiffin did structurally with his program. It changed things.
Yeah.
Because they were not competitive. They were a fun story. I immediately dinged 2023 because of Georgia and lean more toward 2024 being a better season despite their underachievement than 2023 as far as like which team would beat who. That defense is going to get is going to get 2024. It's going to make them a favorite in the bracket going forward. All right. That 2023 team would not have handled well Jarrell Poe, Greg Hardy, Kentrell Lockett, Marcus Tillman.
And I mean,
they wouldn't have handled that well.
That season for Jevin Sneed, too.
Yes, Jevin Sneed. At the end of 2008, this was coming off of Ed Orgeron. They had to learn how to win. It was a different culture. And those guys, the talent was undeniable. It's just, man, can you get somebody driving the bus that isn't just going to constantly steer it into the mountain? You know?
Yeah.
Now, Houston Nutt is Houston Nutt, but at least he's someone that can competently drive the bus, like you said.
100%. And that's the thing about that 08 team. If you guys remember, those losses were brutal because of how close they were. Wake Forest, I think they lose on a last-second field goal. Vanderbilt, I think that was the game. Dexter has the fumble at the goal line that's returned for a touchdown. You knock off fourth-ranked Florida. South Carolina was a weird game. I don't remember too much about that game, but that game was on pay-per-view. This is back in the day. Like, that wasn't Jefferson Pilot game. That was
what
a pay-per-view
happened?
Game.
Do you remember what happened after Ole Miss beat Florida? Ole Miss did what? Came back and lost to Vanderbilt.
No. Ole Miss lost to Vandy a week before Florida.
Before Florida. Okay, There we go. It was one of the other, but they had to learn how to win. So Florida then was them learning how to win, upsetting Tim Tebow, making him cry, one of the greatest college football teams of all time.
Yeah.
Going to Arkansas.
Yeah.
The return of Houston Nutt, learning to win there when Chuck almost got in a fight on the field. That happened. By the end of that season, they played Graham Harrell, Michael Crabtree. These guys said, we're supposed to be in the national championship.
Yeah.
They thought the Cotton Bowl was beneath them.
Yeah.
And Patrick Cherian, Marshae Green, Jarrell Poe, Greg Hardy, Dexter McCluster, Jevin Sneed, God rest his soul, Brandon Bolden.
Would Trahan might have come in 09. Was he there for the 08 team?
Patrick Trahan was starting at linebacker for your Ole Miss Rebels in the 2008 Cotton Bowl.
I thought
100%. I think of the LSU game. Ole Miss went into Baton Rouge and absolutely demolished LSU.
Yeah.
Mike Wallace just running through every bit of coverage. Dimes dropped into his lap by Jevin Sneed. That 2018, by the end of that year, as they proved by whooping Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree, they would have beaten anybody. And they would have beaten the 2023 Ole Miss football team. That just in that year, good as they were, and the historic nature of what it was, when they finally got pitted against the best of the best, they went in and got whooped. Now, they whooped up on Penn State, and that was great. But I'm taking that 2018. That's my graduating year. Like, I know I'm still like, those are the guys I'm still friends with. It's Kentrell Lockett, it's Jarrell Poe. I know what it meant to them.
Yep.
And how far they came in that season to get, like, we haven't even touched on guys like Cassius Vaughn. I mentioned Shea Hodge.
No, we haven't touched Shea Hodge either.
All of these dudes I still consider friends to this day. And I like Bradley Sowell. Michael Orr, all these guys.
That was bad. Like, when I think of like the great Ole Miss offensive lines, like that offensive line had some big bodies. That offensive line could move bodies. It was one of the better ones. Like, Edo really left a really stocked cupboard when he got fired. But yeah, just all in all, like you touched on a lot of it.
We don't talk enough about how good Bobby Massey was and still is. He's not in the NFL no more, but Bobby Massey was a dude. He's one of the most, like, he had one of the longest careers in the NFL.
Yep.
That man was good from day one, came from Hargrave Military Academy. I don't even know if Hargrave produces prospects.
I was going to say, Hargrave used to pump them out, man.
That was a different time. I mean, they had to fight for it. Like, Poe had to fight the NCAA to get into school.
Right.
And like Ole Miss, like, they changed the culture of Ole Miss and changed the expectation of what Ole Miss could be.
Yeah. No doubt.
Now,
I mean,
Eli did, when Eli did it, was like, because Eli's a hero and he took little Ole Miss and won 10 games. This team was like, no, man, it don't have to just be like, we don't have to keep waiting for the prince that was promised. So whoever Eli's kid is, that's the next time Ole Miss will be good. That 2018 completely changed the culture. Kendrick Lewis, who went on and had a great career in the NFL, who we got to get on this pod. Like, Kendrick Lewis missed the tackle against Wake Forest, if memory serves. Like, they had to learn how to win. And once they did, no one was going to beat them. So if I'm putting them up against 2023 Ole Miss, good as 2023 Ole Miss was, that team would have wrecked them. At the end of the year, that defensive line, look what Georgia did to them on both sides of the line. Both sides of the line. That's exactly what
that was very obvious.
Ole Miss team.
Yeah, the lines of scrimmage, and that was what Lane was like, which still baffles me to this day that Lane Kiffin had to get shellacked by Georgia to realize, oh, I need big bodies on the line of scrimmage. When he said that to me, I was like, you've been coaching for how many years? And you just figured out that that's how you win in the SEC. Another note I'll make about the 08 Ole Miss, right? And this.
So I'm picking the 7-2 upset right off the bat.
No, I think that's same with me. And the other part of this is, as I was mentioning, it's a 7-point loss to South Carolina. You know, a 6-point loss to Vandy, 2-point loss to Wake Forest. Alabama, the number 2 team in the country at the time, at Bryant-Denny, 24-20 rather, the final.
Yeah.
And it was after that game that the tide turned. From October 25th until January 2nd, Ole Miss didn't lose a game. That's why they came into the year ranked 4th or whatever it was the next year with Jevin Sneed coming back as a Heisman favorite.
That because of him and Davrin on the front of Sports Illustrated. When Sports Illustrated was a magazine because we revered things, and that's was the pinnacle. You wanted to get in Sports Illustrated. And there was Jevin Sneed and Davrin Gerald's, whose son Deuce is now an LSU Tiger.
Yeah.
Like Davrin was on the podcast for the Fiesta Bowl. We're old, bro. And I'm not going to let people forget how unforgettable and program altering that 2018 was. They would have beaten 2023. Now, 100%. The question is when you move on into the bracket, all right? Because I can get a little romantic about it. You know what I mean? Start telling y'all wax poetics about 2015, how they whipped up on Oklahoma State. And at the end of that year, man, they would have beaten anybody. I think I even said it on Twitter at the time. I remember sitting in the Superdome going, man, who could beat this team? 2024 Ole Miss could. 2024 Ole Miss would destroy
here
that
is
team.
Where it gets interesting. I think 2015 Ole Miss offensively was stacked, like very much stacked. And I think their defense was also very much stacked. You're talking about Robert Kimdichie. You're talking about Marquise Haynes. I'm forgetting a couple. Breland Speaks might have been on that team. Let me double check to make sure I have that roster down right. But as talented as the 2024 Ole Miss team was, obviously defensively specifically, I don't think 2015 Ole Miss could not be competitive against that team.
Can you hear me okay?
I'm just trying to go back and look at some of the results of that season and some of the stats. So Chad Kelly's your quarterback, which 2015 Chad Kelly, I'm taking over a lot of quarterbacks in Ole Miss history. Like that was a special season that Chad Kelly put together that year. I mean, he was absolutely remarkable. I don't know if he set SEC records, but he matched a lot of talented players, completed 65% of his passes, over 4,000 yards passing, 31 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, a few more, obviously I can't remember the exact rushing stats. I don't have it in front of me, but he had good rushing numbers as well. So that team to me, it really does stand out. Jalen Walton at running back, just one of, I think, was Mathers on that team too? I'm trying to find this roster.
Atavius Mathers
15, and I'm not seeing it, but
can you hear me?
It was a great roster. And then you just think of guys like Evan Ingram and CJ Johnson and Mike Hilton. I think I would take that secondary in 2015 over the secondary, because if memory serves me correct, Cody Pruitt was still on that team. Yeah. Trey Elston was on that team for sure. Like, I think 2015 Ole Miss would beat 2024 Ole Miss. I think that was a coaching issue with Freeze and Womack. I mean, was that the year where the run fits were an issue, where Womack just kept being like, "Our run fits, don't know what's going on with the run fits."
Hold on, can you hear me at all?
You're muted, Benny. I can't hear you.
No, I'm not. Hold on,
can't hear you. Well, you're not muted, but I can't hear you. Oh, no, he's gone.
We're working on. Can you?
All right, let's see. I still can't hear you. What's going on here,
man? It's showing up on my end. I want to, as you figure that out.
No, this has got to be a me issue. Hold on.
As you figure that out, can y'all hear me in
the chat? Give me a second. You keep talking.
I'm going to keep talking. Because, Jack says we can hear. All right, cool. So taking all that into account, what Sudu mentioned here, this is what I'm looking at. All right. That 2015 Ole Miss team was awesome. DeMarcus Gates was a tackling machine. CJ Johnson, my dude who I saw at the Sugar Bowl, tackling machine. That tremendous team. But if you remember, they fell short of expectations early on in the year, which led to Hugh Freeze and company having to try to campaign to get into the Sugar Bowl at the end of the year. All right. And actually, the bowl bubble was kind of soft at the time. So Ole Miss got in mostly off of wanting a fresh matchup in the Sugar Bowl. Less had to do with what Ole Miss earned. Now, that was a good team, and they beat up on Oklahoma State in the Sugar Bowl. But also, they were a team that have matched up against 2024 in a defense that featured two All-Americans, consensus All-Americans, in Trey Amos and Walter Nolan, on top of the best collection of defensive line talent. I don't see how 2015, even with Chad Kelly, beats 2024 Ole Miss.
Well, okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I am back. I had to switch out headphones for some reason.
2024 beats 2015.
Who did 2015 Ole Miss face that had elite defenses? Well, let's look at the losses first, right? They go down to the Swamp and they lose to number 25 Florida. That was a piss poor showing altogether. They just did not come off the plane. That's when
Freeze hit me up at Gainesville.
Yeah,
is that what the one? Yeah, he hit me up. Yep. I was going and I missed that game.
I flew with Chuck on a private jet from Oxford Airport to Gainesville.
That's one I was private jet that Chuck put you on and me. So
it was him and his buddy. I can't remember the guy's name. He was so nice, but that was right around the time Future and Drake dropped "What a Time to Be Alive," man. And I was just listening to like Drake talk about his PJ while I was riding a PJ. That was a cool experience.
Awesome. I've never flown a private jet. I would love to do that sometimes. Like the Michael Scott, I love inside jokes. I'd love to be a part of one sometime. But at that weekend, I missed that game. I was going to Nashville. Tragedy struck one of my dear friends who I love to this day, Jay to the B. Josh Butler, who worked with me at Rebel Radio on campus my last 3 years of college at Ole Miss. And we were going down there for him and his family. And coming back or going down that way, I get that night we watched the game and stuff. And the next day we had to go do all the funeral stuff. And I probably drank way too much. Shocker, being young and stupid and in grief. And got a little vocal on Twitter, a little too Twitter trolly. Shock. I know that shocked so many people. So Freeze calls, the next day I get a call from Chuck. He's like, Freeze wants you to know he's not talking to you anymore. I went, okay, why?
Ooh.
Like, oh no. So then I talked to Freeze and he was just like, why are you saying mean things to which I was like, why are you worried about what my stupid butt's saying the day after you lose 30-13 at Florida? It wasn't remotely competitive.
Yeah.
2024 all day, bro. All day.
And so to me, like, this is not what you're saying has nothing to do with like these teams at their best, because we saw what Ole Miss could be at their best when this team was locked in. But because look, this team lost to Memphis. That to me was not on that team. That was on the coach and the coaching staff and what they allowed their team to do the night before the game. They lost to Arkansas, a game they shouldn't have lost in overtime, just off a crazy deal, right? But you look at the teams they did beat. They beat a ranked Bama team in Tuscaloosa. They beat number 15 Texas A&M at the Vaught.
The Quincy Attaboyjo miracle catch.
They beat a ranked LSU team. They beat a ranked Mississippi State team with Dak Prescott. Like, the wins themselves are very impressive. And I think that team's makeup and character was depth. I think they were tougher probably than that 2024 team. And just here are some of the names, right? You have Laquan. You had C.J. Hampton, DeMaurice Stringfellow, Denzel Kimdichie, Robert Kimdichie, Fadal Brown. Like, when I'm telling you that defensive line was sneaky good, people forget that Fadal Brown, Marcus Haynes was on that defensive line. I mean, you had guys on that defense that I would trust a lot more than recent defenses. Like Chief Brown was, one of the leaders of that defense, hard hitter, pretty consistent player. Breland Speaks, another guy who played in the NFL. C.J. Johnson was on that team. Channing Ward was on that team. Tony Connor was playing. I mean, the list goes on and on of the amount of talent that was on. The Moore twins were there. This is just defense I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
you're not convincing me. It's just you're not convincing me because
DeMarcus Gates. No, I think top to bottom, it's way better than 2024. Like, linebacking core was stronger. I think defensive backs all together as a whole, not just one guy manning one corner spot, but the entire secondary and the defensive line. While it's not Walter Nolan and it's not Jared Ivey, as a collective, that was a strong defensive line. Marquise Haynes was a sack machine, and he could be because you had Breland and Rob in the middle and Fadal. They were eating dudes up. So,
Rob, who had the most unbelievable talent and could not finish to save his life. Yep. Tony Connor, who got cut by Derrick Henry and wasn't the same at the end of his career.
Tony Connor, whose injury was mismanaged by Ole Miss. Let's be real.
So all those things into account, if you take away Lane Kiffin's mismanagement,
but we're not.
Why are you not going to let me tell you what I think about it? Like
no, but I'm saying that the parameter just changed. The parameter just changed. I'm just trying to clarify this before you continue, because we said these teams at their best. We're not talking about Tony Connor's injury and Robert Kim.
Fine. At their best then, Lil Sue, sir. All right. You really going to not take the best collection of defensive players in Ole Miss history?
Because I saw it. And while there was
if they're playing at their best
defense, there were still way more holes on that. The line of scrimmage was not an issue for Ole Miss in 2024. The best defensive line the school has ever had. But if you look at the secondary and you look at the linebacking core, outside of Pupal and outside of Trey Amos in the secondary, do you really feel that strong about the rest of that defense?
Yes, Walter
outside
Nolan.
of those two guys. No, not defensive line. Not defensive line. I'm talking about if you look at linebacker.
You can't take it out of there. They can't take that out. That's absurd.
My point is collectively, though, the 15 defense as a collective, as a whole, had more talent at each level than the 2024 team did. The 2024 team owned the line of scrimmage, but then outside of one guy at linebacker, well, I guess that's also discounting. That's discounting my boy
TJ Daugherty.
No, not TJ Daugherty. Pass rusher Perkins. Centurion Perkins is discounting a little bit, but I still I'm taking that 2015 team still as a whole.
I'm not
defensively and offensively. I'm taking Chad Kelly over 24 Dart. 24 Dart made a lot of mistakes.
2024
and Chad Kelly came up big in a lot of big time in moments when you needed him. Arkansas game, he came up time in and time again, and his defense couldn't give him a break.
2015 Chad Kelly made a lot of mistakes too. A lot of mistakes. That 2015 team, they had some good wins, without a doubt. But what I'm saying is none of their wins came close to what Ole Miss planted its peak potential in 2024 did to Georgia at their place. Period. That was a dominant showing.
That was at the Vaught. That wasn't at their place.
I meant at the Vaught. Yes, yep. Regardless, like there's no better. There's no win better on that 2015 schedule. I'm picking 2024 because that defense, it's the wasted opportunity of Lane Kiffin. That's what he needs to wear around his neck. It was losing.
It's the biggest blunder of his career. There's no doubt about it.
So like, I'm not going to ding what that team was.
I think as a collective, the 2015 wins are
okay.
I mean, you beat number 2 Alabama. You beat number 15 A&M, number 15 LSU, 21 Mississippi State, 6. Like you have more ranked wins. And once again, top to bottom, it feels. But let's look. Clearly, me and Ben are at odds here. Let's get the chat in on this. Chat, what do you guys think? Let's do a little count of how many 24 versus 2015 era. I think it was the year.
It was, dude. Like, why are we like? I know Chad was your dude, and Chad is awesome. But can we please?
We got 115.
Can we please stop acting like 2015 Chad Kelly wasn't the start of like him not fulfilling his complete and total potential for what he could have been?
But that's not what we're discussing today. We're not talking about.
Well, then why are you dinging the 2024 team?
2015 Ole Miss. No, I'm not. I'm going off of results, and I'm telling you, I think the 2015 team deep, because we're talking about deep. If we're taking offenses versus defenses, you're telling me you're not going to take Laquan Treadwell on an offense with Chad Kelly and the offensive line that was pretty good that year, a pretty stacked running back room with Wilkins and Walton and all those guys. I think the offense was better. And we look at defense, 24's defensive line was elite, the best the school's ever had. But I think at all 3 levels of the defense, the 15 team was better.
I was in Tallahassee for that kickoff game, man. Not Tallahassee.
That was not the year Chad got cooked at FSU. That would have been the following year.
Oh, well.
With DK and AJ. I was there as well. That was the next year that was disappointing, where Ole Miss would come up, up like 4 touchdowns and kept blowing leads, and ultimately led to Shea Patterson starting by the end of the year. 2015. We got one.
You got to count them up. No, we got to move on to the next ones here. We're never going to get done with this stuff.
Let me hold on. Let me see here. I'm trying to count them real quick. These are coming in pretty fast now.
2024.
So 2015. We got one 2015 still. Let's see. I know Mary said, so we got one.
You're really bad at math. Is that something that comes with waking and baking?
No, it just comes with me not being good at math. That's why I'm on this podcast with you and not solving mathematical equations right now, Ben.
Selling mathematical
story of my life.
Selling mathematical equations.
Solving mathematical. Yes.
Sorry.
Let's be honest. 2015 squad would win by 3. Yeah.
Have you counted them up yet?
I got 1-1 right. I've got 1-1 right now. Still going. Give me a sec.
You're only at 1-1 so far.
Okay, so it's 2-2. 3-2 for 15 right now. 4-2 for 15. 4-3, 4-4. All right, we're at a tie, guys. We have 4 for 15, 4 for 2024. Can somebody please be the tiebreaker? Right. Next number thrown up wins.
Next one wins.
Because this is clearly contentious. I didn't expect this to be this contentious between me and Ben. I thought we were both going to agree on this, but this is what this is about. Clearly, we all perceive different Ole Miss seasons. Ben's point about how dominant 24 was against Georgia is the best point. First dominant, boom. That means 24 wins. Okay. So what an upset. The 3v4 2024 Ole Miss goes on.
Joseph Moore, 24. Mason, I think Mason goes 1951.
I don't even know that. I don't even know if that was one of the natty seasons.
Somebody had that at the Ole Miss Spirit, omspirit.com, and affiliate on 3. Sign up today for $1 for your first 5 days.
I didn't include anything in the non-modern era because it was a different time.
Mississippi said 1959.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I could have gone back to the Johnny Vaught teams, and I was like, there's just too many differences.
Dude, now they're embarrassing you in the chat. 24 is coming. Like they all got
15. We got a 15.
The last 3 are 2024.
Because people saw who won, and now they want to side with the winner.
I didn't know we were playing for keeps. I just thought we were having a friendly discussion about. All right, moving on in the bracket here.
All right, so moving on. Now we're up against 2023 and 2021. 2003, of course, was the Eli Manning year, special year for Ole Miss. Also, a team that underachieved that should have played in Atlanta for the SEC championship game versus the Matt Corral team. That was so much fun to watch. 10-2 team. Should have been the first 11-win season in school history, but
it wasn't. 2003 all day. Here's the thing. I was in the stands. You were a young buck. You barely even knew what the Ole Miss world was, young buck.
Oh, I was. Right. I watched that game and cried. I don't know what you're talking about.
But I was in the stadium when Ben Obamanu dropped the pass in the end zone for Auburn. All right. Yes, I remember losing to Memphis and Texas Tech. Tay Biddle's drop against Memphis. I remember these things. I was at every single game. By the end of that year, save for the LSU game when your Lou Groza Award winner just missed 2 field goals and Doug Buckles stepped on Eli Manning's foot, that 2003 team, led by the best quarterback, the best player in college football, should have been put in the Hall of Fame on his second ballot this year in the NFL, Mr. 1 Elijah Manning. There's no way 2021 hangs with that, man. No way. So what you're going to have is you're going to have 2025 against 2008. You're going to have 2024 against 2003. Because anybody that grew up in that time, dude, it didn't seem possible. Eli made it possible. He's the one that returned. He's the one that came home. You move it on. Yeah. 2021 was potentially historic and did something. Yeah, everybody's saying it too. 2003.
Yeah, I don't think that one was going to be very hard.
No. All day. I mean, you're right about 2021. Some really cool things, but you know what sticks out about 2021? 2021, losing to Baylor, a non-competitive Sugar Bowl, losing to Auburn. It wasn't close. And then getting your butt whooped at Alabama.
Yeah. Two terrible losses. A fun team once again, but like we're saying, just not enough talent, too many holes, not able to compete truly against the best of the best.
The most memorable games were Lane's return to Tennessee, beating LSU at home, What, Hugh Freeze coming back to Ole Miss with Liberty and beating them 27-14? What a snoozer that was.
The A&M game was a lot of fun. That was one of the greatest college game day was in town. Yep. One of the greatest game day environments that I'd seen up till that point.
100%.
They had women spinning fire batons. They had drone show that game. Like, that was Ole Miss showing off to nationally to college football. Like, hey, this is who we are.
Yeah, Mary was there at the Sugar Bowl. All of us were. It was miserable.
It was awful. Yeah, that was the year I got COVID and didn't go to the Sugar Bowl. Thank God.
Bleak times. I'm going with 2003 all day. All right, here we go.
Perfect. Okay, so here's the next round.
All right.
So here's where it gets interesting, that 1v7, Ben. 08 Ole Miss, once again, like we named all those guys, that defense destroys this year's Ole Miss defense. Like, this year's Ole Miss defense doesn't come close to what Ole Miss had at 2008. But Ole Miss's offense, this comes down to the 08 defense versus the 2025 Trinidad Chambliss led offense. You can't go against 2025 Ole Miss, but I do bring up a good point. That 08 defense would smoke this year's defense.
Man, see, what I want to do, we're just going based off of not what, like, 2024 disappointed, 2003 they lost to Memphis and Texas Tech, 2008 they had to learn how to win, 2025 they were good all year. Defensively, they weren't particularly great. They got pushed around against Miami, but they won 13 of their 15 games. But that's a really, Jack's on it. That's a really rough matchup for the 08 team offensively.
Here's where I think it exactly what it comes down to at the end of the day is
I hate picking.
Do you trust the 08 defense can stop Trinidad Chambliss? And the answer to me is you say yes.
Only
you say yes.
But those are my dudes, man. Marche and Cassius at the corners, bro. Kendrick at safety. All right. I mean, Patrick Trahan was a monster. Greg Hardy, Marcus Tillman, my guy 40, Jarrell Poe, bro. These were dogs.
Yeah.
And these are like, a lot of them were like some Panola dudes too now.
No, there's a lot of Mississippi.
We talk about Jerry's now. Parade Jerry. Yeah. First round pick. Ole Miss went back to back with Parade and Michael Orr. Michael Orr would take that 2025 Ole Miss defensive line. And I'm sorry, Prince Will, but buddy, you're going to get what happened to Miami happen to you. Y'all remember in The Blind 100%. Side, that complete lie that Michael Orr's exposed, pretty obvious. You know, the part where he carries man, all the way to the bus that I was going to put him on the bus. Prince Will, you'd be on skates. TJ Dottery, you'd be on skates. And I'll just say that because they're LSU Tigers now. I'm going 2008 because I believe that 2008 team against the backdrop of playing at its peak potential against the backdrop of 2025 and the teams that 2025 team, not taking anything away from.
Yeah.
That team is better. That team would dude, I'm sorry. 2008 Ole Miss, tell me how this defense is going to stop Dexter McCluster. Did you see what Malachi Toney did?
Mike Wallace. The speed, who on Ole Miss's defense was going to stop that kind of speed? Not just DMC, and this is the year before Houston Nutt learned how to use DMC. They decided finally in 09. Ben is approaching UNC levels. Fantasizing that.
Oh, I'm getting old, bro. I knew it happened.
But as much as I love Trini and that team, I think it does come down to Ole Miss's 08. I think that 08 defense could have done enough. And I think Snead and that Ole Miss offense, even if Houston Nutt would have realized maybe I should put Dexter McCluster as a running back most of the time, because we had the Wild Rebel back then. Remember the Wild Rebel?
Mm-hmm. Again, if Houston Nutt was just competent, Ed Orgeron wasn't competent. Yeah. He was great at recruiting talent, but Ole Miss was a different place then. Pete Boone was Pete Boone. You know what I mean? He mandated that on basketball trips, they first had to bust LSU, and on the bus ride, if you got more than your allotted one steak at the restaurant, buddy, you had to pay up. It was different times back then. If you would have gone out and gotten the Lane Kiffin of whatever 2008 was for Ole Miss, dude, he'd have taken that talent. The best collection of Ole Miss talent and would have won an natty.
Yeah. That team, I look back on now and I go, God, that was the team. Now, Doug
Mike Wallace was a second-round pick. I remember, Mike Wallace, that's, again, one of my dudes. He ran a 4.29. All right?
Yeah.
And I remember when he got drafted by the Steelers, dude, I'm sitting in my house in Shiloh. And I called him and said, hey, congrats, man. He's like, yeah, and I got my interview right then and there. It was a different time, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was different. And, that team was different. And that team, Houston Nutt gets a lot of credit. Back-to-back Cotton Bowl, first time in 50 years. 50 years. I would argue he underperformed with that talent.
So we all look at 09 and we definitely agree he underperformed, but 08, he also underperformed. The reason that sentiment, I guess it's growing now. But the reason it didn't for many years is because of how down the program was. And then ultimately he left it in a worse place than even Ed O did. So
exactly. He took Ed O's talent, won with it at a respectable level to continue his career. But there's a reason nobody came after Houston Nutt despite back-to-back Cotton Bowls at first time in 50 years, other than Kansas. And he tried to use that for leverage to get more money from Ole Miss. Houston Nutt was not a wanted property anymore.
Yeah. Now, Doug,
Ole Miss celebrated it because you were coming off of Ed Orgeron, who was dipping coffee grains and was playing, beating a drum, walking down the hall at
Ben, he had snakes in his head. Okay, you got to give him. Doug brings up a great point. Much different game now. Wonder how 08 would handle the RPO game, and that's a great point because let's be real. Now, this is something we didn't define in the beginning, so maybe we should clear this up. Remember, Nick Saban had trouble with RPOs early before he could adjust. So is that something we're considering? Is that team as is, they hop off of a time machine and play the 25 team without any knowledge of RPOs? Or are we giving them the benefit of having practiced against that and prepared against that?
Here's something we haven't considered. Are we giving them the coaches that they had in these games?
I think so. Yeah, I think
because you're dinging 08 if you do.
Yeah,
you're digging 2024 if you do too.
No doubt.
And
that was my thing with 2024, man. It's Laramie Tunsil was man in left tackle. I don't give a shit who was pass rushing against him. You weren't going to get a sack. That's why I was saying 2015 there as well. He didn't just run off on the plug twice.
Just tell me, knowing what you know about the Ole Miss defense, a program record 13 games, who is stopping Dexter McCluster?
Yeah. Ooh, I'm sorry. This is going to look bad.
The depth
we're gonna have.
Well, look, tag all my guys on when you want to get some impressions on Insta and TikTok, dude. Tag Control and 40. I mean 40 and they're the same person. 40 and Poe and Michael Orr and all these people. Seriously, because let me read you some names. We haven't even touched on some their backfield. Brandon Bolden, Kadera Eason, Enrique Davis.
Cordera Eason was the guy, man. That was before BB really broke out.
Mike Wallace, Shea Hodge, Dexter McCluster, Markeith Summers. Don't forget
Gerald Harris at tight end, by the way.
I loved Gerald Harris, dude.
He was that guy, man.
Yeah. Look at this offensive line. Michael Orr, Davern Geralds, Mo Miller, Reed Neely, Darrell Harris. Darrell Harris played, I think, 3 to 5 years for the Kansas City Chiefs. Darrell Harris was good. But then, and Bradley Sowell, he was a freshman on that team. Kicker was Joshua Sheen, stud.
Joshua Sheen, incredible.
But we had Parade Jerry, my guy 40, Kentrell Lockett, Marcus Tillman, Ted Laurent, Jeremy Parnell ended up at the NFL.
Ooh, Jeremy Parnell.
Emmanuel Stevens went to the NFL with the Falcons.
Hey, did you name Jason Cook, by the way, at fullback? That was when fullbacks mattered.
Mm-hmm. Greg Hardy, Jarrell Poe, Jonathan Cornell was a sophomore. Ashley Palmer, who played for the Lions for years, was right beside Patrick Trahan. Alan Walker was a sophomore. Alan Walker was an all-league or all-SEC linebacker at Ole Miss. Tony Fine, who invented the land shark.
Yeah.
Patrick Trahan. Jamarcus Sanford was that dude. 4-year starter. He was a 2-star recruit. Yeah. Kendrick Lewis, Marshae Green, Cassius Vaughn, Johnny Brown.
It's so
Marcus Temple, dude, was a freshman.
It's so yeah.
They would wreck them.
Yeah.
They would. Now, 08
Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Trinidad. Love you, Trinidad. But that 08 team was stacked. All right,
they're
moving on.
I kind of want to slow this down now. I just want to do a sad version.
With violin.
We're not going to do that.
Goodness.
I'm
All
just saying.
08 Ole Miss with the upset over the top seed 2025 Ole Miss, 7-1 upset, incredible on this bracket. So now left for us is the 3 versus 5, 24 Ole Miss that Ben just thinks the greatest team ever. I'm joking. Versus 03 Ole Miss.
I'm
Benny,
not.
This is your pick because I'm still protesting. I think 2015 Ole Miss should be here.
I'm picking
I think Chad Kelly, Eli Manning.
I'm picking 2023 Ole Miss. I think that pass rush would get after Eli. I don't know, man. I love the 2003 team.
No, the 2003 team was that. I mean, you're right in saying 24 because talent-wise, 24 Ole Miss was way better.
I'm giving us a 2024. If I want to say, I'm not taking 03, Jack. I'm not. I'm taking 2024 Ole Miss. I think that defense was historically the best defense Ole Miss has ever assembled. That 2003 Ole Miss team was Eli and a lot of really good, but not look at the collection of talent for 2024 in comparison to 2003 outside of Eli. Now, I love Chris Collins. I could go through all those dudes, but the NFL presence, a lot like 2008, is just different. And it's stouter where I think it needs to be to win games at the highest level, specifically in the interior of the defensive line, edge, pass rush. You got a dominant cornerback. Like Marche became a dominant cornerback in 2008. I'm taking 2024 Ole Miss.
Boom. The matchup we've all been waiting for.
Looking at 08 beating the 2025, I can just see the mentions in my brain. I can see them coming. Dude, there's no way.
I just listen. I don't think at this point you go against the 7 seed, man. To me, 08 Ole Miss goes on to win it all. And I think maybe you'll disagree with me on this one. But once again, if I thought 15's defense was overall better than 24's, I am not taking 08. I'm not taking 04 against 08.
We're not talking about here who set the most records, who did the most, who won 11 games first. We're not talking about who got to back-to-back Cotton Bowls for the first time in 50 years. None of that. We're talking about the team of the 2000s, the teams of the 2000s. Which one would beat the other ones if they were playing at their peak potential? And we're not going to ding them for Lane Kiffin hitting up his ex-girlfriend in the tunnel of the Kentucky game. You know what I mean? We're not going to ding 08 Ole Miss because Houston Nutt got credit for the incompetency of Ed Orgeron, who just couldn't do basic things, could get all kinds of talent, which is what you're seeing play out here, but could not coach him to save his life because he wasn't there. He went on to win a national championship with LSU. Coach O, great for him. Ole Miss wasn't wrong, but it was early, way too early in terms of Coach O being good enough to win at that kind of caliber level. But it's 2008.
I don't disagree with you.
It's 2008, man. I'm going to pick my guys now. I'm going to pick them. And I'm not going to lie to you. 2024 and 2025 are the only times where I even took them seriously is who could beat 2008. Seriously. Yeah. Because the 23 team, I love Matt Corral, and everybody knows what an accomplished quarterback he was at Ole Miss, one of the very best in Ole Miss history. The stats speak for themselves. He set records. He was a one-man wrecking crew. That 2008 defense would have broke him in half. I remember what they did to Wesley Carroll, bro, in the Egg Bowl. Tyson Jackson, I think, was the other one. Man, you were worried about their safety, their health. You were worried they were going to make it out of there alive.
Yeah.
And they had some psychopaths on that team that just were about that ball. Man, if you took Ashley Palmer, Patrick Trahan, or Tony Fine, any of those three, and put them on 2025 Ole Miss, imagine the difference it would have done. Imagine Ashley Palmer instead of TJ Daugherty, TJ Daugherty is a Dollar General brand version of Ashley Palmer. He doesn't have the same kind of size. They're similar build and type of linebackers. They are more athletic. They're more rangy. They're going to get pushed around a little bit. But Ashley Palmer was far better in coverage, and he didn't get pushed around quite like TJ Daugherty did. Man, so Terry Perkins, this was his first year playing linebacker. You know what I mean? And he got better. Like, he didn't have the impact of last year when he tied for the team leading sacks with 10.5 because it's different responsibilities. Forgive me if I would have taken Santera and just let him be that same situational pass rusher with this team that had Patrick Trahan and Ashley Palmer and Tony Fond in the middle.
He would go hunting. He would just be in the backfield hunting, man. Just set him up a deer stand right there. Just let him go to work.
I firmly believe that history will look back on that 2008 Ole Miss football team, not as a colossal missed opportunity, but what turned Ole Miss in the modern era into what it is today. They showed the way. You just go get guys that want to be here, that love to be here, that take pride in being here, that like Darrell Poe fought his tail off to get into school at Ole Miss. He fought, man. Kentrell Lockett, like, no matter what anyone, you know what the hard truth is? Ole Miss had to have Ed Orgeron because it stopped playing games about being holier than thou in regards to recruits. Like Billy Brewer told him, right? Like, dude, you got to go out there. You got to play the game. And no one could play the game like Ed Orgeron. And he brought talent to Ole Miss that at the time people didn't think they could do. Do you remember what it was like a holiday when Brent Schaefer, who commented on our podcast recently, he was like, thanks for the shout out. So Brent Schaefer, if you're watching again.
Oh, wow. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I love like Brent Schaefer.
Dude, the day that
they got Ben Jarvis from Indiana that year.
Who played 10 years and won titles in the NFL.
The law firm, of course.
The law firm. Like, man, that team was different. They just had no clue how to win. If I put that 2008 roster against the backdrop of what college football is now, even against that 2024 team, H-Rod Freifogel, former Ole Miss wide receiver, who was on the show earlier this week, we're picking the best Ole Miss football team ever. Not the one that set records, not the ones that like won 11 games first, none of that. Just the best one. That would be at playing at their peak potential, not getting dinged by their coaches. Like, I'm not holding against 2008 that Houston Nutt was their coach. If you made Lane Kiffin the head coach in 2008, yeah, come on now. Tell me Jevin Snee wouldn't have cooked. Jevin could haul ass now too. He could run.
Yeah.
2008 Ole Miss will always have a special place in my heart as the best collect. Like, just those were some dogs, man. And like,
without a doubt,
they cared. And I'm not saying that like these dudes don't. We know Trinidad cares. I'm just saying it's different. I'm saying that was Darrell Poe could have made bank back then if it was legal. Like Kentrell Lockett could have made bank back then when it was legal. They were here because they loved Ole Miss. They wanted to be Ole Miss rebels. They just needed somebody to believe in what Ole Miss could be too. And finally, Houston Nutt at least played the game enough to show that, like, to let them unlock what they knew to be already true. That Mississippi historically looked down on as like, or lesser than Louisiana, Texas, Georgia, Florida. Yeah. Ole Miss, not Ole Miss. Mississippi doesn't have the same number of top-ranked recruits as those states, but per capita, Mississippi's in the top 3. Always. And you finally got like Caderos from Mississippi. You know what I mean? Darrell Poe, Mississippi. Marcus Tim was from Mississippi. Greg Hardy was from Memphis.
Yeah.
Like, I can keep going on and on. Like, first thing Ed Orgeron did, and he was right. He said, I'm going to build a fence around Memphis. And he did. And it wasn't just about Memphis, it's about what he's talking about. Like, keep them home. And back then, that's the only way you like. Ole Miss had a real pathway to get good. Win in state. Go get the best players and stop them from going to LSU and Alabama. And they all came to Ole Miss, except for Derek Pegues. He wanted to go be a Mississippi State Bulldog, and he's the one that got. He was going to be an Ole Miss Rebel his entire life, and then he's like, yeah, screw it, I'm going to State. And then he's the one that got Ed Orgeron fired. 08, baby. That 08 football team, just neutral field against any team. I'm taking them, man.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Ben. This is the only disagreement that Ben and I would have had here. I would have pit 2008 Ole Miss against 2015 Ole Miss, and I would still have 2008 Ole Miss moving on to win it all. I just think
winner.
We have the same winner. I just think 2015 Ole Miss is beating 2024 Ole Miss. That's the only disagreement I think we had.
You need to go through the roster.
And I've been through it. I went through it.
I'm saying, like, you need to tag them all. I'm saying you need to.
Oh,
tag
you're talking about
them
for this
all.
clip? Okay, yeah.
Because they're good. Like they're still like Ole Miss fan 198824 said they still come around. Yeah, they're still engaged in all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to 40. I might collab 40 on it, and he'll disseminate it around because I know he'll love it. And Shay too. I mean, and Davern. I mean, I hung out with all those guys for the national, or not the national, for the semifinal game. So we put faces to names. Should have been the national championship game. But there you have it, folks. So this is our. Say that again, Benny.
I said tag Dexter McCluster, tag Jarrell Poe. Dexter McCluster, man, dude, he had the Ole Miss. What was it called? What was the thing? The women's football camp. What was it called?
The lady. Was it forum? It was like the
ladies football forum
or something. Yeah.
Dexter always performed.
He was a star, man.
He went in and sang.
Did he take his shirt off one year? Am I remember?
1 year. 1 year. That's like part of the act.
They're like, Dexter, we gotta get you to.
Man,
a lot of women paid a lot of money for this.
What was good Lord,
Magic McCluster out here?
What's that song? How does it feel? Like D'Angelo. All right, dude. Yeah. Dexter was like D'Angelo for the Ole Miss women's football forum, bro. I'm telling you. And then he came out like he was doing commercials before commercials were commercials. This man was out there saying, if you want to stay alive, don't text and drive.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
No,
Mississippi Department of Transportation commercials. Mm-hmm. Those were funny. Mm-hmm. Oh man. 08 Ole Miss, guys. That's our final. This is who we think is the best Ole Miss team of all time. Chat, it seems like most of you guys are agreeing with us as well. So a lot of ball knowers here, obviously, since you agree with us. Share this with your friends once it's up, available on YouTube. Well, I guess it will be, and see what they say. Before we go, I wanted to get to one more thing. Coach Yo woke up this morning and she chose violence, and I just wanted to give her a shout out. So Lane Kiffin, before I put this up, Lane Kiffin,
I did not see this.
Lane Kiffin, former Ole Miss head coach, now with the LSU Tigers, was very involved in tweeting about the Ole Miss LSU game. He, I think, began by maybe praising her, but then Lane's exact tweet was a post-game press conference clip of our friend Brad Logan talking about 2 nights ago. We had a good amount of fans. I was expecting more. Lane tweeted, "Don't worry, it will be #just different tonight, Coach Yo. They will show up for LSU women's basketball game." This was before the game. And then after the game, Lane also quote tweets Brad Logan and says, "Thanks for helping out the attendance, Yolette McEwen. Was begging for LSU women's basketball. Glad they showed up. Great competitive game early, ladies. #just different." So he was insinuating that people only showed up because Ole Miss played LSU, and they showed up to actually watch LSU play, not Ole Miss. So this is Coach Yo's response today. "Special thanks to my CFP coach, Pete Golding, and squad for coming to the game. Wasn't his first one either. Looking forward to supporting our coach that has won a CFP game in the fall. Let's say goodbye to the past reps, just like I did after this." And the video in question was Lane Kiffin at a celebrity softball game striking out.
Mm-hmm. I can find that video quite quickly if you'd like for me to.
Please do.
Please do. As I effort. Hold.
I'm actually watching it right now.
Oh, dang. Well, then just play it up then.
Hold on.
Mine just has a particular soundtrack that I thought would be appropriate as we get out of here.
No, play your version. I want to hear the soundtrack.
Okay, hold on. I'm working on it. He can't help himself, coach, can he? He can't help himself.
No,
I don't get it. I don't get it. All anybody wanted to do was celebrate you.
That's all 15 minutes ago, Coach Yo, someone quote tweeted, "Coach Yo woke up cooking today." She said, "Nah, he woke up tweeting me, and he knows I have the file, so he should stop while ahead."
Coach Yo, again, I stand by it, man. Tell me a better ambassador for Ole Miss athletics. Tell me one.
She's incredible.
She's incredible. You'd be hard pressed to find it. And that's why, it's unfortunate. I can't find it. It's unfortunate that she had to appeal to get people to show up. But come on, I mean, like, Lane, it's petty, it's pathetic, it's the type of behavior that you've been accused of exhibiting far too often. It's at this point, it's mean spirited. Like, dude, I don't understand where it's coming from, bro. Like no one wants to hate you. You understand that? I said that to the man on the phone. I was like, you know that no one's your enemy here. They just wanted you to be honest about it. When he called to apologize after all that stuff.
He should be apologizing for this.
Got him swinging. Coach Yo strikes out late.
Oh, goodness.
So Coach Yo, talk your stuff. And like Kim Mulkey's in on the bit too.
Shit.
Like Kim Mulkey's cut from the same cloth as Lane Kiffin. And to hear both of them, like, it was great to see people show up to watch LSU play. Like, oh my gosh, you just grading elitist dorks from. I mean, what are you doing? Like Coach Yo appealed to Ole Miss fans and they showed up in support of her. Stephen A. Smith came because of Coach Yo. Pete Golding's coming because of he loves Ole Miss and he's wanting to support the other sports on campus. Who didn't do that? Lane Kiffin. And of course he supports Coach Yo. And he doesn't have to broadcast that he's doing it. He just shows up and supports. Like Coach Yo.
Speaking of which,
you knew Pete Golding them were coming. She said, I got a text. You think he said it? No.
I missed this one. Have y'all ever heard of a football coach tagging a women's basketball coach after a game? This guy doesn't even like women's sports. Cope Harder. Oh, shit. He's getting accused of not liking women's sports. You come for the queen, you best not miss. That's all I got to say.
I'm at the point now. Like, Coach Yo, you just keep doing you. Some days it's going to be frustrating because you don't have that many fans in the stadium. All right. But you see the one basketball statue that Ole Miss has is Coolidge Ball in between Vaught Hemingway Stadium and the pavilion. Dude, you keep doing what you're doing, they'll build it for you. And you also keep doing it like speaking up and being a vocal advocate for your university and for the people who feel like they've been crapped on for no reason by a dude who they just gave the world to. Like, that's what was so comical about like this. Like I talked about this the other day. Brad went and did an LSU debate or did a debate with an LSU dude on the On3 network, like my network. They didn't holler at your boy. And I
mean, it's Brad Logan season. I'm sorry.
I love Brad Logan. So like, that's not the knock. It's just like dead gum. They like, it's like they called Brad because they knew Brad being the class actually he wasn't going to like talk over people and yell them down. But this dude says with a straight face that Ole Miss held Lane Kiffin back. If anything, it emboldened him like never before. Because finally, the petulant child of college football was given everything he wanted. No longer was there a parent in the room to say no. The man is now gone to the place where, like, if he goes 10-3 with the same team that we just picked to finish second of our best teams of the 2000s, they will fire him and he will have earned it. And I don't think he gives a crap. But like here, no one batted an eye. There was no calls for his job. No one questioned him. People kept saying, why didn't you play Ulysses Bentley? And he wouldn't answer that equitably and fairly and honestly.
If that man has a 2024,
Coach Yo, you get the statue. You take the place of the statue right there in between. Like, you join Coolidge Ball. Everyone said, well, Lane, if you stayed, they'll build a statue. Hell, I said it too. And it's true. And if you would have, they would have. But now you take it, Coach Yo. You deserve it. Look what you've done. Yeah. And look what you continue to do in a space where you're trying to keep the attention of people that lasts maybe 4 seconds, which is the attention span of dogs. You're yelling to the void, it seems like. She is breaking through by being a positive ambassador for Ole Miss and nothing more. She's advocating for the people that poured into her, and she's pouring back into them, something that Lane Kiffin can't process to do if it's not serving him in some way.
Yeah. Without a doubt. So shout out Coach Yo. Incredible.
She's awesome.
Ambassador for Ole Miss and what she's done with women's basketball can't be understated. Before we go, Benny, I know you'd like this.
Oh, nice. Nice braid. Like nice. Do I want one? Well,
hit up my boy.
I mean, I'd rather have the hat you got on.
Well, I would have to like buy you this, which I can for your birthday.
I mean, I can get you one of these. We'll call it Billy Landis over at Riverland. I got you one of these. Riverland Roofing for all your roofing needs. 662-644-4297, riverlandroofing.com. Our thanks to C Spire, Built Different Fitness. Call them today for your fitness journey, 662-832-0961. Online at www.bdoxford.com. Our thanks to Alan Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Oxford. Online at alansamuelsoxford.com, 662-234-8000. Shop for your Ole Miss merch at College Corner. Their phone number in general, 662-550-4330. Online at collegecornerstore.com. Drew Moak of USA Benefits Group for your health insurance, 601-953-8449. 601-953-8449. Online with quoteswithdrew.com. And, of course, B&A Bank. And on the hat, Riverland Roofing, the little house up top. Always doing that thing. So if you need one of these, I got that hookup. All right.
I don't want anything in return. I'll try to get you one of these. Like, it's got, obviously Dale Sr. on it with the Braves hat. I think it's pretty sick.
25 years this week since Dale Sr. died in this crash.
I'm actually going to the race in Atlanta on Sunday. Pretty excited about that.
Have you ever been to a race?
Motor Speedway. Yeah, I've covered NASCAR. I've never been as a fan in the stands, but I've been obviously pit area and all that stuff. So it'll be nice to kind of just be able to sit up there and enjoy it like a real
I've
fan.
I've never been to any NASCAR.
Oh, dude, it's incredible. I mean, you won't be able to hear anything for the next 2 days, but
awesome.
It's incredible. I mean, it's so much fun. I've done some little races in Memphis International, like some K&N, but then in Atlanta, I've done at least 3 races now. At Atlanta Motor Speedway. So
never gotten that chance. I've driven by Talladega many a time going on trips.
Of course.
Yeah. I've always wanted to be in the like the field of campers and stuff. I heard it's an adventure.
It is an adventure. I think I'm going to try to do it this year coming up.
I hear stuff goes down out there.
It certainly does. There's plenty of videos online and you can see what exactly, but my junior year of college, I believe I was asked to go to Dega, but you know why I didn't? Because I was a great employee of the Ole Miss Spirit. And I said, no, I have obligations. I can't go to Talladega. So I didn't go in college with some buddies. One of them now actually works for NASCAR. Like, this would have been the guy to go with. Like, he is Mr. NASCAR.
So like, let's call him up and get like a VIP experience. What are we talking about?
See, here's the thing. I think he's just starting out. It's that thing of like when you start working in media and all your friends are like, can you get me a ticket to this game? So it's like, I'm not going to do that to someone else.
Yeah. Sudu, I don't know any of that at all. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. You would relate. That's what I'm saying. So it's like hard for me to like, I think he just started working for NASCAR. It's maybe been a couple years on a pit crew. And it's like, hey, Sawyer, I know we haven't spoken in a couple years. Can you get me and my buddy Ben in a race?
Sounds reasonable to me. Sounds reasonable to me. Then I'll get you something. Why don't we
just plan on going in general? Just even if it's on
that costs money, and I'm a sports writer. My wife's a math teacher, and Gracie's got to get braces. Scan this QR code to join the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, and Fleet of On free. Sign up today for just $1 for your first 5 days. I would love to have you over there. That's what we do all day, every day. Thanks, Ole Miss fan 198824 said another great show.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all for joining. Remember, he's at Spirit Ben on Twitter. I am Spirit Ben on Instagram. Make sure you follow the Ole Miss Spirit as well, and you can follow me at Sudu TV on all platforms and Mudcat Media as well. All right, Benny. Before we go, you always get the final word. What you got going on?
Lifts Lord. Ben, are y'all paying attention to Yo on Twitter? Yes, we are. And I just want to say, keep doing you, Queen. Keep doing you. You preach on, Queen. You are doing the Lord's work. Keep on keeping on. She's out.
We love Coach Yo.
Said, she's out for blood. I like to think she's going for the neck. They like to play neck. She's going for the neck. She's telling them to. In North Pontotoc, right down the road. Here,
what?
At North Pontotoc, right down the road from me, from where I live, here in Ingomar, Mississippi, New Albany, Mississippi. They play. They play neck, except they say. Row those Viking ships. I don't know what the button is.
Let's do one for Coach Yo. Hey, Coach Yo, whip that tiger.
That tiger bish.
All right, we gotta go. We've been here for too long. It's been real. Thank y'all for joining. That's Ben Garrett. I'm Sudu today. We'll see y'all next week for another episode of Game Runs Deep.